in which the archivist investigates the Black Monk of 30 East Drive. There is a house in Pontefract, West Yorkshire, where the shadows seem to gather like gossip, where furniture moves when no one is looking, and where an entity known only as the Black Monk has terrified all who dared spend the night. Welcome to 30 East Drive. This modest council house looks like any other on the street, but behind the red brick facade lies one of Britain's most notorious hauntings. Paranormal investigators, ghost hunters, and of course, curious archivists have all ventured in. Some regretted it. But before we go ghost hunting, let's look at the origins of this chilling tale. It began in August 1966. The Pritchard family, Jean, Joe, their daughter Diane and son Philip, moved into 30 East Drive. It wasn't long before they noticed strange phenomena. And almost immediately during the hot summer bank holiday, the family witnessed a baffling phenomenon. A fine layer of chalk-like dust falling not from the ceiling, but from a level below head height. Soon after, puddles of water began forming on the kitchen floor without any apparent source. A plumber was called, but no explanation could be found. Then came the green foam oozing from taps, lights switching on and off, and household objects flying through the air. Then came the day that Diane was dragged up the stairs by an invisible force. The entity was dubbed Fred by the family, but others, particularly later investigators, began calling it the Black Monk, suggesting the spirit of a 16th century Cluniac monk from nearby Pontefract Priory, supposedly executed for the abuse and murder of a young girl. Adding to the intrigue, it's believed that 30 East Drive was built on the site of the town's old gallows, where criminals were executed and buried. No historical evidence confirms this, but let's not let accuracy get in the way of a good haunting. Now, before we dive headfirst into the terrifying tale of the so-called Black Monk of Pontefract, an apparition said to haunt this very stairwell, I must make a small scholarly digression. You see, monks have always been a bit dodgy. Back in the 12th century, Walter Map, a rather sardonic Welsh courtier, wrote in his book Courtiers' Trifles a biting little aside entitled A Digression on Monkery. He wrote, monks, both white and black, recognise their prey as the hawk spies the frightened lark. Their neighbours they wrong, their vanquished opponents they prescribe. Do not to others as thou wouldst not be done by. Little they care for that, or for anything like it. And, Map adds, the Lord warns us to beware of false prophets who, like these, come to us in sheep's clothing, and within are ravening wolves. So, if our monkly ghost seems more malicious than monastic, perhaps he's simply upholding tradition. One modern tradition for ghost hunters visiting this house is the pram test. Supposedly placing a child's pram at the top of the stairs provokes the spirit. The Ouija brothers captured one of the most infamous moments in recent years, affectionately dubbed Pramgate, this very pram moving on its own. Spooky? Certainly. Authentic? Debatable. Oh, and it was debated by Mythos and Beardo, to name but two. But even skeptics admit something strange happens in this house. Before I attempt the infamous pram experiment, let's see if our spectral friend is feeling photogenic. Is there anybody there? Is there anybody there? Is there anybody there? You're most welcome to make yourself known, preferably not by flinging something at my head. Paranormal photography, an old Victorian obsession. Spirit photography was all the rage in the 19th century, and while most were tricks of double exposure, some captured something harder to explain. Either I've captured the Black Monk, or it's just a smudge of Yorkshire air. I brought a few tools from the archive. This one's a vibration-sensitive bell circa 1910. Let's see if Fred is feeling cooperative tonight. Time 2:43 a.m. No movement from pram. No bell activity. Mild creaking. Possible draft. Or disembodied monk. For those keeping score at home, ghost hunting often involves equal parts science, superstition and wishful thinking. But then again, so does most of academia. Either Fred just found the copper pipes, or he objects to being documented. I stayed for several hours, recorded temperature changes, EMF spikes, and a suspicious knocking sound that didn't align with any boiler schedule I could find. Did I find proof of the paranormal? Perhaps not. But I did find something stranger still, a feeling like being watched by someone just out of sight. And that's enough to keep an archivist up at night. Either the spirits are responding, or the pipes are as old as the carpeting. To this day, 30 East Drive continues to draw paranormal tourists and spiritual thrill seekers. Whatever its true nature, ghost, poltergeist, psychological projection, or well-constructed myth, it holds a powerful place in Britain's haunted history. Despite attempts to bless the house, reports persist of objects being thrown, furniture being rattled, dark shadows lurking, doors opening, and strange sounds when no one is around. As for me, I'm off to have a restorative cup of tea and file this case under monastics gone malevolent. Do I believe in the Black Monk? Let's just say, I didn't come alone. Until next time, keep your records orderly and your prams securely parked.